The manor was unusually quiet that morning. It was not the peaceful quiet Mary had grown used to, but something deeper, heavier, as if the house itself were holding its breath. The corridors felt longer, the air more still. Even the wind outside seemed to move more carefully around the stone walls. Mary noticed it as soon as she woke. She lay in bed for a few moments, listening. There were no distant footsteps, no doors opening or closing. Only the faint sound of her own breathing and the soft rustle of the curtains near the window. Something was different. When Mary dressed and stepped into the hallway, she felt it again, that sense of waiting. She walked slowly, her steps light on the thick carpet, until she heard voices drifting from below. Quiet voices. Mrs. Medlock was speaking to another servant, her tone low and serious. "He's had a restless night," Mrs. Medlock said. "Best not disturb him today." Mary paused, listening without meaning to. The other servant nodded. "He does that often, doesn't he?" Mrs. Medlock sighed. "Too often." Mary did not know who they were speaking of, but the words followed her as she walked away. He. Someone hidden away, like the garden once had been. Later that morning, Mary went outside. The garden welcomed her as it always did now, the ivy-covered wall opening quietly to let her in. The secret garden was waking more each day. New green shoots pressed upward from the soil, and buds clung tightly to thin branches, holding their promise close. Mary moved through the garden gently, tending to the earth where she could, clearing small paths, brushing leaves aside. The red bird watched from nearby, hopping closer when she knelt, as if curious about her careful hands. She felt calm here, safe. As she worked, her thoughts returned to the voices she had overheard. There was someone else in the manor, someone unseen. Someone kept apart from the rest of the house. Mary wondered what it would be like to live hidden away like that. When the air grew cooler, she returned indoors. That afternoon, Martha came into Mary's room with fresh linens. She moved quietly, but Mary could tell there was something on her mind. "Martha," Mary said softly, "who lives in the West Wing?" Martha paused. "Well," she said slowly, "that would be Master Colin." Mary looked up. "Who is he?" Martha hesitated, then sighed. "He's your cousin, Mr. Craven's son." Mary blinked. She had not known her uncle had a child. "He doesn't come out much," Martha continued. "He's been ill for a long time. Doctors say many things, but none of them seem to help." Mary listened carefully. "Does he ever go outside?" she asked. Martha shook her head. "Hardly ever. He stays in his room, curtains drawn, quiet as the grave some days." The words settled heavily in Mary's chest. That evening, as Mary lay in bed, she thought of Colin, her cousin she had never seen. A boy hidden away in a large house, surrounded by silence and worry. The thought stayed with her as sleep came, slow and gentle. The next day, Mary was wandering through the corridors when she heard it. A sound. At first she thought it was the wind, then she realized it was something else. A soft, distant cry, rising and falling like a wave. Mary stopped. The sound came again. Without quite knowing why, she followed it. She walked slowly down a long hallway, her heart steady, her steps careful. The sound led her to a door at the far end of the west wing. The door was closed, but light glowed faintly beneath it. Mary hesitated. Then she knocked, very softly. There was silence. Just as she was about to turn away, a voice spoke from inside. "Who is it?" The voice was thin but clear. "It's Mary," she said. "Mary Lennox." There was a pause. "You may come in," the voice said at last. Mary opened the door. The room was dim, curtains drawn tightly against the light. The air smelled faintly of medicine and old fabric. On the bed lay a boy with pale skin and dark eyes, watching her carefully. "You are my cousin," he said. "Yes," Mary replied. For a moment they simply looked at one another. Colin's eyes were sharp, curious, and tired all at once. "You don't look afraid," he said. "I'm not," Mary answered honestly. Colin seemed surprised. Most people, Mary thought, were afraid of things they did not understand. She had grown used to quiet and waiting. This room felt no stranger than the empty halls she had first explored. Colin shifted slightly. "Everyone whispers around here," he said. "They think I don't hear." Mary said nothing. "They think I will never be well," Colin continued. "That I will always stay here." Mary remembered the garden. "Things can change," she said softly. Colin frowned. "How would you know?" Mary thought for a moment. "I found something once," she said. "Something hidden. Everyone thought it was gone." Colin watched her closely. "And was it?" he asked. "No," Mary said. "It was just waiting." The room grew quiet. Colin lay back against his pillows, his breathing slowing. "You may come again," he said after a while. "If you like." Mary nodded. As she left the room, she felt something shift, not loudly, not suddenly, but gently. Like the garden, something else was beginning to wake. That night, Mary slept deeply. She dreamed of doors opening, not just in walls, but in people. Of light slipping into dark places, slow and patient. And somewhere in the manor, behind drawn curtains, a boy lay awake a little less afraid than he had been before.